So this is our part 6 of our chapter cell. So today we'll study about cell and cilia and flagella and centrosomes. So first of all we'll study about ribosomes. Ribosomes are visible only under electron microscope, and they were discovered by George Palade in animal cells in 1953. He named ribosomes in 1955. They are also called Palade particles. So ribosomes are found in all cells, prokaryotic cells as well as eukaryotic cells. But difference is this, that in prokaryotic cells they are of 70s type, and in eukaryotic cells they are of 80s type. And they are freely present in the cytoplasmic matrix in eukaryotic cells, and attached to the endoplasmic reticulum also. We have studied it earlier that they are, if the endoplasmic reticulum is rough endoplasmic reticulum, means it is on the outer wall of the endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes are attached. In a cell, they may be 20,000 to 30,000 ribosomes, just like in Escherichia coli, they are present 20,000 to 30,000, but in a eukaryotic cell, their number may be half a million ribosomes may be there. So these are, we all know that they help in the protein synthesis. In higher classes, you will study the whole concept of translation, how protein synthesis takes place. So this diagram shows bacterial ribosome and its subunits. Two subunits are present. Next, in next slide, we'll study about eukaryotic ribosome. This diagram shows structure of ribosome, prokaryotic on the left side and eukaryotic on the right side. Ribosomal subunits are usually shown symmetrical. Actually, they are irregular. Now, in this diagram, you can say prokaryotic and eukaryotic ribosome. Prokaryotic ribosome is made up of two subunits, means 50s subunit. Larger one is 50s and smaller one is 30s. And eukaryotic ribosome is made up of 60s plus 40s two subunits. These two subunits are present in the cytoplasm in free state, and they only come together at the time of protein synthesis. So we all know that the ribosome provides space for the synthesis of proteins in the cell. Hence, they are known as the protein factories in the cell. So the ribosomes bound to the membrane generally synthesize proteins for export as secretions by exocytosis. So we all know, earlier we have done that if a string of ribosomes is present in the cytoplasm, then it's called polyribosome or polysomes. So, cytoskeleton is basically a elaborate network of filamentous proteinaceous structure which provides mechanical support, motility, and maintenance of the shape of the cell. In cytoskeleton, we'll study about cilia and flagella and centrosome and centrioles. First of all, we'll study the structure of cilia and flagella. So, cilia are short, hair-like organelles, 2 to 20 micrometer in average length, and flagella are long, whip-like organelles that may be 10 to 200 micrometer long. So cilia are relatively present in large number per cell, but flagella are usually fewer per cell. So cilia and flagella are enclosed by a unit membrane, which is an extension of plasma membrane of the cell, and within the membrane there is fluid matrix having a supporting axial shaft or the axoneme. So the electron microscope study of cilia and flagellum, which shows that the axoneme possesses a number of microtubules running parallel to long axis. The axoneme usually has 9 pairs of doublets, you can see in the diagram, of radially arranged peripheral microtubules and a pair of centrally located microtubules. Such an arrangement of axonemal microtubules is referred to as 9 plus 2 array. You can see in the diagram that 9 doublets are present on the periphery and 2 are present on the in the center. The central tubules are connected by bridges and are also enclosed by a central sheet, which is connected to one of the tubules of each peripheral doublet by a radial spoke. Thus, there are 9 radial spokes. The peripheral doublets are also interconnected by linkers. Both the cilium and flagellum emerge from centriole-like structure called the basal body. And the functions of cilia and flagella are they are act as the organelles of locomotion in spermatozoa, many protozoans, larvae of certain animals, and some adult animals. And cilia and flagella also help in capturing food, and flagella circulate food in the gastrovestibular cavity of coelentrates, and cilia are brought to secrete a sticky material in ciliates to keep the conjugates together, and the flagella circulate food in the gastrovestibular cavity of coelentrates we have done earlier. The cilia of respiratory tract remove solid particles from it. Smoking damages the ciliated epithelium, allowing dust and smoke particles to enter the lung alveoli. So, the cilia of urinary and genital tracts drive out urine and gametes, etc. These are the main functions of cilia and flagella. So in this slide, we will learn about centrioles and centrosomes. The centrioles occur nearly in all animal cells and in motile plant cells such as zoospores of algae, sperm cells of worms, and motile algae. They're absent in amoebae, prokaryotic cells, higher gymnosperms, and all angiosperms. And these centrioles can be seen with the help of both light and electron microscope. So a pair of centrioles is called diplosome. The centrioles appear as two minute dark staining granules under a light microscope. An electron microscope scope shows them as two short hollow cylinders usually lying at right angles to each other. So that in the centriole, each centriole is made up of 9 microtubule triplets, which lie evenly spaced in a ring. As you can see in the diagram, uh, there is no microtubule in the center. So they are giving 9 plus 0 patron, means 9 microtubules at the periphery and no microtubule in the center. Each microtubule in a triplet is about 250 Armstrong wide. The triplets are tilted to form an angle of about 40 degree to radius of the cylinder. So the three microtubules of a triplet are named A, B, C. The A microtubule is joined to C microtubule by the adjacent triplet by a dense AC linker, a fine radial fiber or spoke joins each A microtubule to the central hub of the cylinder. So like this they are present. It means that protofilaments of A, B, C subtubules of a triplet are present, and the functions of centriole are basically, and they help to organize spindle fiber and astral rays during cell division. This we'll study in next chapter. When we'll study about cell division, then we'll study the function of centrioles. So therefore they are called microtubule organizing centers. And however, the centriole are not essential for this purpose. The cells of higher plants lack centrioles and still form a spindle. They provide basal bodies and give strength to cilia and flagella. So these are the basically functions of centriole.